stories to tell you tonight. That was a memoir.
I kind of assumed you already had.
No.
Some Forrest Gump stories.
I mean,
I've told a bunch. I mean,
you sure have, but
I ran a really long ways. Okay, like it's not my fault. I saw the coast. I didn't start running the other direction. That's what I wanted to go see. It's the ocean. Stop for a second. Jesus.
Enjoy
Chill
it.
out.
Goddamn.
Yeah.
God
Slow your roll.
What's the matter, you?
Goddamn, Tom Hanks.
What is the matter, you? Really? You got to ask yourself.
What's the matter, you indeed?
Are we live yet?
Yeah.
We
have been.
Yeah, I think we've been live for a while.
Awesome. I'm excited about that nonsense.
I have no idea. Yeah.
I'm into it.
Just
hey,
kidding.
look, and Matt's here for our nonsense. Hello.
So the urban, you say? Evening. That's, yeah.
You gotta have the ASMR beer pop at the very beginning of the show, you know?
Is that what that is? ASMR? Yeah.
Just go Uncle Randy on you while we're waiting. That's not the knife I was carrying today, by the way. But it's
fire. Seems right up your alley.
You're kidding me. Like, yes, I chose that route out of everything in my collection.
Let me guess, you attached it to the belt too, didn't you?
I have the sheath right over there. God damn it. Right. I can see it from here. I did some organizing today. It's
Did you just scout carry it?
No, that's the original sheath you cannot scout carry, sir. Come on.
Ranger Bandit, man. Come on. Adapt. Overcome.
Your kids and your foolish ranger bands.
Kids, you say?
I'm a year younger than him. That's fair.
All right. I'm not going first. I went first last week. So take that.
I don't think I've gone first in a while. I can go first.
For the record, too, Stanson, Black Frost, Ben, good evening. What are y'all carrying? It's rodeo weekend, so we can say y'all. But I like to do it in 2 syllables every time just to like enunciate how foolish it actually is. Yeah. Oh. And if you sound sad at the end, it's even better.
All right.
It's making me sad on the inside at the very end. Man. So Paul, you want to be first?
Huh? Wait, I was gonna go first, right?
Yeah, evidently.
Forgot about that. I said it and then immediately forgot. I'm rocking a Jared Osier Tengu flipper.
Let's see.
And technically, I guess, because the photo has it, the Tengu tool as well. I gotta relearn where my camera is because I turned my phone. But yeah, little black and white action.
I see your ways, sir.
Yeah,
it's all right.
I threw them both back in my pocket recently, and I'm enjoying it.
Do you tend to carry both of them at the same time?
Yeah, I have been.
I've got a buck 110 sheath pouch right over there. You can put them in there and scout carry it with your ranger bands, and you can probably put both of them in there. Since neither one of them have a clip.
I'll have to like shake my hips really hard to get the Tengu tool out if it gets deep in the bottom of the sheath.
Are you kidding me? You could projectile that into the cardboard box you wanted to cut. It's just a good hip thrust. And
there you go.
Oh, it's like unsnapping the pistol, man. All you have to do is just fire it off, and that Tengu tool will come launching out of there.
I don't like any of this.
Ninja Star styles with a Z.
But yeah, I'm giving them a fair shake. Recently I got a new pair of jeans and the pockets are a little bit larger, and throwing this in the front pocket in its little pocket sheath is a hell of a lot more comfortable than it was with the last pair of jeans that I had. So it's kind of just living in there so that I get some use on them.
That's ridiculous.
And I kind of like having a tool with a bottle opener in my pocket too. just in
Yeah,
case.
sometimes a pry bar is kind of nice to have, or a screwdriver. You kind of,
Yeah.
and I do
Yeah.
find it handy. I use one on my key bar, and when I have my GEC, the glow in the darky one.
I
Yeah.
bet you that would
Good
work
guy.
really good in the key bar as far as like the screw on it. Yeah, I bet you.
Back end of that bullshit. Yeah. Same
The old
idea.
back end bullshit.
Anyway,
Something. Paul's back on his bullshit.
Never left.
mhm.
For the record.
that picture that Fisk sent us, where we're pointing to the direction of Paul's bullshit. That's anyway.
Yeah, I forgot. I gotta go curate that meme. Share it with the group.
Mm-hmm. It was a good one. It was a good one.
I did enjoy it.
ZT 308 from Black Frost, QSP Harpy from Ben Stanson has not told us yet. Anyway, Joe, what are you carrying, sir?
I am carrying same old, kind of. Although same new. The CRKT M16.
Is it holding?
It is.
Nice.
So, like I said last week, applied some permanent thread locker. Hasn't come loose. This has been much to probably the detriment of all those around me. It's been the habitual flicking knife because the action on it is actually quite nice. But I haven't detected any kind of change in lockup. Nothing like that.
I wish we had some editing for when Paul said, "Is it holding?" Because the big movie scene with someone at a like army wall where it's like, "Hold!"
Pretty much.
That's where needed to happen there for sure.
Of course,
Anyway,
of course. So I did do a file test finally on this guy, and yeah, it sure seems to be in and around 60 Rockwell. It's acting like it too.
And or around.
A little bit above, probably. It's hard to tell because I'm just using hardness files. It's not as accurate as a dial indicator or one of those the divot indicators.
Come on, Joe. I want
yeah.
it down to the second decimal place.
Dude, if I had one of those machines, I'd be using it on all my knives, but I do not, sadly.
Black Frost is asking if the honeymoon phase is in full swing with that knife.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's way more fidgety than it has any right to be. It's actually pretty useful. The blade grind is fairly aggressive, so it comes down to pretty thin behind the edge.
Well, we'll
Yeah.
see if Joe gets 3 weeks in a row because I mean, even the M390 Crossbone got 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
let's see what happens here. Let's see
Yeah.
what happens. Yeah.
I will say it's been hard for me to default away from my regular carry for very long. So yeah, that'll kind of be the test. See where I am next week. But yeah, so far nothing bad to report.
Speaking of which, we haven't done it yet. We're gonna have to do an episode. We might have to do it next week, depending on if anything fancy comes in. But we got to do a top 3 of the year. What's our update episode? We haven't done one for this year. Best of 2022, top 3. I mean,
that's a hard question to ask.
we've continued to do it every year, and we haven't done a 2022 one yet. I said 2023, but that's probably how long it'll take us to actually do that damn episode. So.
Well, I don't think we have anything en route that's super fancy. So I mean, I would have no problems doing that next week. But
anyway.
I think that'd be worth talking about. Yeah. Otherwise, nothing negative to report. Still working good. Yeah.
Nice.
And brings us to Dennis.
Let's see. I was also carrying the spear pointy good action this week. Just kicking around the house, went for a bike ride. It was a good time. Figured that was a good knife to bring along with me.
Yeah.
So good old 30.
Fuck, that's a good looking knife.
Well, and I took advantage of some leaves and some trees and turned it all good like. Yeah.
Golf clap indeed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Am I wrong? It turned out all
No,
good. Like it's
it
No,
did.
no, not close.
As much as I dislike, generally speaking, black handles now, there's something nice about that shape with that handle and that color. With the bright blade, it's nice.
yeah, the carbon fiber, and just because of the pattern on it.
I was gonna say the carbon fiber helps because it gives visual appeal.
Not enough knives use that kind of herringbone pattern on handle scales. Like, it's just cool. The other one that comes to mind, I think, is the ZT609 that you have.
Yeah.
Is it the 609? The titanium?
Mine?
Yeah,
Cool one.
the flipper with the see-through pivot.
That guy?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not... Yeah, it's kind of herringbone pattern. Yeah.
The Anthem has it kind of too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think it's a sweet texture. Yeah.
Yep, no, agree.
Diddly. Diddly diddly.
Yeah. Any updates on what people are carrying in the chat? I can't see it.
Yeah, Stanson got a QSP Hawk and the Parrot. Both excellent choices, both tempting choices right now.
Yeah. I think me and Dennis are thinking the same thing with that Hawk.
Stupid flipper.
Different
delete.
versions, but yeah.
Stupid flipper delete with a Damasteel version.
I want it in the ebony.
Or Damascus steel version. Yeah.
Damascus is definitely not the wrong choice by any stretch. That's for sure.
No.
And then I'll Spidey hole it. And sheep's foot it. And just turn it into a Griptilia. It's really is what I'm. Yeah.
Wait a second. This is a penguin.
Gonna handle swap it for some micarta.
Just completely different knife by the time we're done with it.
Yeah.
One you probably could have bought from someone else.
Oh, he bought 4 different knives to get those parts. Come on now.
I see you've played Knifey Swappy before.
I mean,
if you can, I'm just saying.
Why not?
There's a CRKT tuna deep carry clip that may or may not fit a QSP Parrot. Go forth with that information and do what you will.
we're gonna get a cease and desist from CRKT being like,
I didn't say anything. You hush your mush. I did not say anything of the sort. I said one thing happens to match another thing. Silence.
Yep.
Well, rather
Hush
than going
your mush.
That's straight
completely
up.
silent, we could talk about the knife we're all here for.
Nah.
I
We
may
got
or may
20 more
not
minutes
be,
of bullshit before we get there.
I may or may not be stealing that from my 10-year-old stepdaughter, but
Oh no,
The hush your mush?
because I'm going to steal it
Yeah.
from you.
It's, and you tell her that your friends are stealing your.
oh, why
Kurt.
do you think I stole it? It was fantastic.
I laugh. Hush your mush.
All right, let's talk about this urban.
You talk
Oh.
about an urban.
Okay, yeah, I could do
Oh
that.
no, I said Joe talk about an urban. 2 hours later.
Come on.
Every goddamn. Actually,
I'm gonna pronounce it urbane the entire time just to annoy everybody.
not to be contrarian, but I don't know how much I have to say about this knife this week.
Is it like an underground bane? It's urbane.
Urban.
Yes. Is it a deep carry clip? Yes. For the tuna? Yes. Yes, it is, Stanson.
It is for the urban too.
Side. Yes, also that. Nice wire clip, actually.
It's deepish. I mean,
Pretty
On
deep.
the, yeah.
I mean,
It's
we
not
reviewed some Kershaws the other day. Those are
the old
deep.
deeper than deep.
You know, those Kershaws with the lockbacks that I don't remember the name. Coalition and the Cogent. No, the Cogent's a Savivi. The Coalition's not the right name either, for the record.
No.
It's not.
The Coercion and the Evasion. I don't know. It's yeah.
Oh, I mean, those would have been okay names, but those are still not the names now.
Coercion? No, coercion should not be the name of a knife.
It was the Delica bug out and the Endura bug out, right?
Exactly. Brought to you by Kershaw.
It's
Yeah.
cargo and debris for those of you actually curious.
You had to look it up, didn't you, Joe?
No, thankfully,
I don't
but
believe
it
you.
did. But it did take that long for me to remember.
They were impactful for sure.
Oh, they were something.
Yes, Stanton. What I'm saying is that the tuna clip, which is a deep carry clip, happens to match the whole fit configuration for the Parrot.
Go forth and do what you will.
Do things. Go do things.
Go
Go
do
now.
things.
Take it and go.
Oh, I just
I mean,
realized
not now.
that-
Watch the stream now. To like.
I just realized that the Damascus pattern is on the spider.
The spider's
Yes.
on the Damascus
I
pattern.
was just
Also that, but they're both like it's not like I don't know what I'm trying to say here. You can see both, and I like the overlap.
So they did the funky laser etching where it actually catches the light. So in a couple of these pictures, you'll see it disappear almost, and in a couple of them, they're super dark.
Nice.
Spyderco's got that shit figured out. It's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
The native with the Damasteel, they had the 50-year symbol on it, and if you tilted it one way, it would disappear completely, and if you tilted it the other way, the 50-year popped like.
I wonder if
Huh.
doing it on Damascus like helps that.
I don't know.
Just like the billboards back in the day that you would drive past, and as you drove past them, they were like panels that were like kind of set at an angle. So as you drove past, the billboard would change.
no.
It almost feels kind of like that.
I've only ever seen the billboards that will rotate periodically to show a new billboard.
Yeah, no, this is pre-tech.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a small window where there was like actual billboards and there was rotating billboards, and there was a small gap where they had shifty billboards, but probably way too much money because you had to have slats that like lined up.
Yeah, I imagine that would take a lot of time and effort to make it work right.
Well,
And then
to
to-
line everything up so it
Yeah.
actually looked right. Anyways, Urban,
Oh, Stanson, don't get me wrong. I do not sell CRKT deep carry tuna clips, but CRKT has a fantastic warranty. So if you happen to lose your CRKT tuna deep carry clip, you can call CRKT and ask them for a tuna deep carry clip.
You may not get a response email if you email them, but you will end up with an envelope in your mailbox containing whatever you asked for.
indeed.
Ask me how I know
When you lose your clip for your tuna,
that you definitely own.
there's something in my eye.
I got an itch on the side of my nose here.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
But we should probably talk a little bit about the Urban.
Yeah, we should.
I think the neatest thing for me about this knife, and it's a stretch to find kind of neat things, if I'm being honest, because I'm kind of feeling like Joe a little bit, but the pattern in the Damasteel is incredibly tight in its layers compared to previous forms of Damasteel that I've seen.
Yes.
So there.
This is true. This is actually, I forget the name of the original type of Damasteel, but this is something called, you can see it there.
Bjorn Jackman.
Bjorkman's twist. So this is a twisted, tighter weave, a tighter version of an already existing pattern where they wanted to like really push what that pattern looked like. I think it came out looking very, very nice.
So for the record, the pattern they wanted to make a more dense pattern of was called Dense Twist. So they're like, hey,
we need to go denser.
Damasteel pattern called Dense Twist. Can you densify it for me? It's
And
got
another
it,
one.
Yorkman.
He wanted a twist that had a more like wood-like look to it.
And I
from,
think And I think
He's
that turned out real well. Yeah.
It looks really good.
He's
It's-
Swedish. Just do it for him.
I mean,
I'm not sure why that's a motivator, but all right.
you know why.
I don't want to think about why. Okay, so people are probably asking, because this isn't a relatively new model from them. This is a Sprint re-release of a discontinued model, the Urban. What the hell is an Urban? It's a non-locking slip joint, and I think it was
Basically
actually
like a UKPK, no?
it was a predecessor to the UKPK, if I recall correctly.
You were wrong, sir. You were wrong.
Is it not?
Well, the UKPK is model 94. This model is 127.
He's got you there.
Oh, fair enough. Well, there we go.
I don't know what else, but yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Was the UKPK the first slip joint that they did?
well, they also did a squeak. I can't remember what it was. It's 154 apparently, and I can't remember what the roadie is. It's 60 something, I think.
This actually reminds me a lot of the squeak as far as like shape. Now that I'm looking at it, like the finger choils and stuff like that, the way the handle shaped. It's like
Yeah, the finger
the
trails for
outside.
sure. The squeak has got much more of a round back end compared to a little more something that going on.
Little junk in that trunk.
You know. Okay, so as far as the size comparison goes, we'll go back to that picture in a minute, but we're talking about other shit. So
Indeed.
I wanted to see the original Urban released in 2009, so far from the original. This one was a little more than 10 years ago, was the first one that came out.
Right. I'm just looking at the Spidey wiki right now, trying to see. So, well, it's quite literally SpideyWiki.com.
No,
I
know.
mean,
I get it.
if you want to look at his wiki, that's fine, but I prefer to have his wiki censored if I can help it. It's
He's looking at his wiki, not his Wookie, dude. Come
Don't-
on.
it's the
don't worry
Spidey
about it.
wiki.
Anyway, this thing.
Spidey Wookie seems like a great cosplay idea, just for the record. Anyways, sorry, go ahead, Joe.
The UK penknife came out in late 2004. So there's your time difference between the two.
All right.
It was a 4-year gap. The Urban appeared in the 2008 Spider mid-year product supplement guide. Interesting. Okay.
So anyway,
Yeah.
non-locking, half stop, all the goodness. Most of the time, they're made with N690 in Italy. This one was not made with N690, but still in Italy.
Yeah, there's a nice little tank stamp around here somewhere that says Maniago on it. I forget if.
So, Lion Seal?
I wouldn't be shocked given how often they've worked with them in the past.
Probably.
It would be a safe bet. Yeah. Is that it? Sure.
I know we were talking about like the roadie and stuff recently.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And the potential of it being.
So, aside from the blade being Damasteel, the handle is using, and they're really specific about this. It's a white ivory G10.
Smooth ivory G10.
Right, smooth ivory G10.
It does feel nice.
It is smooth. How do I say this kindly? It's a really simple knife in terms of its construction. There's not a lot going on, for better and for worse. This really is just a one-handed slip joint. That's what it is. The detail work that you would expect for a knife of this price, this caliber, is concentrated in the blade, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The blade is gorgeous. Like,
It's the densiest of dense twists.
I would love to know what this steel costs in comparison to other Damasteels.
to
It's gotta
buy,
be more
yeah.
expensive. Yeah.
Well,
It's
they
gotta be
have.
expensive.
If somebody wants to look up DS93X, apparently that's the designation for this. There might be a price per inch. Who knows? Standard like randomish pattern Damasteel generally goes for like, what's the raw stock cost I last saw? It was like $15 or $17 per inch for like their base level cheapest option kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, but this knife is the Urban, so we should be able to get street price.
Oh, you cut out there for a good sec, but that was fantastic. I'm glad that came through.
It better have.
What is the street price for this knife? What are we looking at here?
$410?
MSRP is 400 of the American dollar dues,
Okay.
but we're almost on par with our polar bear bucks.
Yeah.
So this isn't a cheap knife, by any stretch of the imagination.
Especially for a non-locking blade that has G10. Smooth.
So
G10.
as
It's
much
like
as
jazz. I don't like it anymore. either.
So I found a price for this Bjorkman twist.
okay,
How
much for how much?
That is 32 by 2.5 millimeters thick. So 32 millimeters long, which I think is just over an inch.
Hmm.
I think 26 millimeters is an inch.
I think so, something around there. Yeah.
It's sold by the centimeter for $5.80 per. So it's two point whatever millimeters, 2.5 millimeters thick, 32 millimeters wide. So like an inch and a quarter. And a centimeter of that is $5. Now multiply that by
However long this blade is, which by the way, it is pretty short.
in this case, yes.
See, that's where the twist came in. Oh, Bjorkman. Bjorkman, you got us. You got us with the price. You never see that twist coming.
Oh.
And
So
that is the cheapest that it comes because that's the narrowest end.
I was gonna say also keep in mind that the blade thickness is 3 millimeters on the Urban.
3 millimeter by 30 millimeter is $6.53, and it's not dollars, it's euro. So that's
okay. So I forget.
$10, $12.
Yeah. So the material cost of any good isn't going to be the sole determining factor for the final price. 100%. Yeah, the labor involved, the difficulty of the tasks involved, polishing, acid etching, everything else. Sure, you can factor that all in, but even accounting for all that, I just find this to be very expensive, especially when you compare it to other knives that Spyderco has made in Italy, like the Spy Opera, which I think we talked about in our review of it as being like, wow, this is actually like really, really good pricing for Spyderco for these materials from this part of the world.
Okay, but when we had this conversation, it was about the fact that Lion Steel had all of those materials readily available on hand, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think Lion Steel's working with Bjorkman over here and his smooth G10.
No. But even so, what's the cost on the Spy Opera?
Sub 250. Yeah, like a little more than half price.
Yeah, for M390.
M390 and some pretty awesome micarta scales. Sure.
Yeah.
Rounded spine, really nice action.
It's just hard not to compare the two given the country of origin and the high-end materials used.
I get it. It's just, yeah.
Especially
goes like, how much more M390 have we already ordered to make this happen? None, because we already have it. Yeah.
But
so.
Absolutely.
You're also looking at just straight shot G10 for the handles and a little bit of extra steel for the spring.
So who's getting the piece of the pie? Is Spyderco or is Lion Steel?
Yes.
Yeah, I suspect both are going to be seeing some substantial markups if I were a betting man. And there is some decent fit and finish to this thing. Like it's not like they didn't put effort in. It's just I'm less excited by stuff like this. Like right now, there should be a picture up highlighting the spine of the knife here and the nice polish, which seems to be like on all the native models and stuff like that. When the materials are so inexpensive to begin with, you're basically paying for it to be made in Italy with slightly fancier blade steel.
Yeah.
And
I need to just point out just math in the corner here on our viewership. Canadian dollars is like $8 per centimeter. That's
Yeah,
not
and
square
that's-
centimeter, it's centimeter by whatever width of steel you're buying.
And that doesn't include grinding either.
No.
Or, yeah, precision or heat treatment or
Yeah, that's
Damascus
not.
is hard to work on because of the
inconsistency in the
different
patterns and stuff. So yeah.
So I didn't mean to cut you off there, Joe.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah, and definitely the labor involved needs to be considered. I just find that even after considering that, this does seem pretty pricey. Now, this is also a sprint, so they're not making them in very high quantities. Artificial scarcity, sure, but I think the bigger takeaway here is just that they're not doing a big run of them. So to take up, and again, Maniago, I'm just going to assume Lion Steel here, but to take up Lion Steel's time or whoever's time who's making these to produce them instead of making something else, of course they're going to add on some level of opportunity cost. So this is obviously squarely aimed at collectors.
Well, and there's also the fact that they're making a few of them, and the less oftentimes if you're ordering an OEM part, you get cost breaks the more you make. So the fewer you're making, the more they're going to cost, just because of that. And because they want to encourage you to buy more, right? Like it.
Oh yeah, and again,
ongoing relationship if I can.
100%. So high price, yes, but I think that for guys who liked the urban pattern or they just want to have as many sprints from Spyderco as possible, this is still a classy, nice little knife.
Well, my question was, how long did it run for? It went from 2009, but when was it discoed? Like, CPM, how you doing, brother?
Indeed.
What are you carrying tonight? You're gonna out fancy us all without even trying, aren't you?
Yep.
That's the name of the game.
It looks like the last run that wasn't a sprint.
Yes.
I may need to follow this up somewhere, but it looks like the run from 2015 is still being made. Like the original run is still being made from 2015. But it is the lightweight version featuring a leaf-shaped blade, apparently. So the original only ran from 2009 to 2011. That one was using VG10. Interesting.
Is that one made in Japan?
One would assume. I've never seen a Spyderco that used VG10 that wasn't made in Japan.
That's what I assumed, yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of original urbans, I don't know if you're on Spyderco's website there, Joe.
No, but I can be.
Okay. If you happen to look up urban.
Yes.
CPM is rocking an RJ Martin Shergoroth soft overkill with black micarta and M398, 1 out of 100 in black. I think it's probably number 1 out of 100 in black too. If I had to hazard a guess.
It's soft overkill, but is it smooth overkill?
That's asking the real questions.
I mean, really.
Oh, interesting. Okay. But yeah, what were you going to point out when I searched for urban?
So the ivory one, if you look at tech specs on it, it has a blade length of 2.44 inches is what they're showing up. So if you happen to jump over to your original Urban,
The foliage green, I think, was the original, right?
the just black FRN.
Oh, the
black.
FRN. Okay, so that's the current production lightweight. Yeah.
Mr. Fisk, hello.
Was there a G10 black? I'm not 100% sure.
No, apparently the original run was using foliage green G10 127 GPFG.
Then that one I'm also super curious about, because if you notice the blade length on this one, it's 2.61. So it is a hair and a hint just longer than the sprint run.
This one is also different.
Really?
Yeah, 2.563 inches. That's 65 millimeters overall.
That's weird.
So yeah, I am curious.
Look, you buy them and you get the blade length that we give you, and you can deal with it.
So 62 millimeters versus 66 on the FRN versus 65 on the foliage green. So I guess it's closest to the no, sorry, I almost misspoke out there. The FRN is closer to the original blade length than the Damasteel version is.
I bet you the Damasteel, the reason why it's slightly shorter is it just worked out cost-wise per inch. They could fit X number of blades in this width, you know what I mean?
Rather than make one less blade.
Yeah.
That's shitty.
I had to have
I don't know. It was just weirder than shit. I just didn't know.
It is weird that it's different.
Yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. I noticed it right away. I'm like, oh, cool. See, you don't need to do 3 different sized penguins. You can just all call them a penguin and just have them a millimeter different. And then we can just do one review of a penguin because they're all the same fucking knife.
Look, we're never going to do one review of a penguin. Let's be honest here.
We'll never do just one review of a penguin. Okay, so here's the other thing is if you've got the size comparison up, and I wanted you to circle back to this whole picture here, because if you look at these two blade shapes, they are damn close. If you just chop the handles off and just look at the blades themselves.
Not a heck of a lot different, no.
A swedge.
So did the Dragonfly is a skinny para 2 before skinny para 2s were a thing? And Spyderco went vice versa, and they made a chubby chubby Dragonfly, and that's what they released here.
And they slip jointed it instead.
Wow.
It's not like Spyderco doesn't recycle the same design over and over and over and over, though. So
Dennis, you've been canceled.
No. That's hard. It's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing. I'm just saying, if you look at those two blades, they're almost identical. And all of a sudden you look at the finger choil and you're just like,
So I have I got one comparison here. The UK PK. And there's the native on top. There's Spyderco just reuses the same ergonomic system over and over. And I'm not really complaining all that much because I tend to like that system. But
so when I said earlier that this reminded me of a Squeak, what I should have said is this reminds me of Spyderco.
Yeah.
Really?
Hey, wait a second. This Spyderco reminds me of something.
I've bought this knife before.
By Jove, I haven't. It's
I think that's literally their game plan, though.
What's that?
That's literally their business model.
You know what? The Urban was, I believe, made to respond to blade length laws. Same thing as the UKPK. Needs to be under a certain size, needs to be non-locking. Sure, okay. I'm not gonna get mad that they decided to fill a niche in that market. Sure, why not?
I don't know.
But it's definitely a format. It's just kind of amusing to see it used so frequently.
But I mean, they just took even the stretch and they re-released it, and now you can get a straight spine stretch, which is just a PM2 blade. Like,
Yeah.
there's no difference between those two knives. But they're like, yes, there is. Shut up.
Would you like a paramilitary 2 with K390? Can you put up with plastic handles and a backlock? Here you go. For the record, I like the straight spine stretch. It's kind of a cool looking knife.
The thing that I was finding so amusing though is we always give Spyderco shit for making sprint runs and re-releasing models they've already produced and blah blah blah. But it's literally in their friggin' DNA. All their knives kind of share that thing. So why are we complaining about it? If you don't like it, don't buy a Spyderco, apparently.
I mean,
or you buy their knives designed by other people.
Oh, I was actually just gonna bring that up as comparison.
Yeah.
Smock versus the military here. Very different knives from each other. The military has a lot more in common with the knives on this side of the screen. But that's very different. They really didn't change too much about Smock's original design. But
no. And like the Volauten, the
oh yeah. I love the Volauten.
What's it called? The Sleesh Bowie, the
Subvert. There's lots.
Yeah.
The subvert versus the sabotage. Like it's yeah.
Subvert was what I was thinking, but I was thinking that knife, but thinking the sabotage, and I'm like, that's not the name of it.
Yeah. So
it's all good. It's all good. So yeah. Not much more to say about this.
Buy one, guys. When are you gonna buy one?
I'm not. I bought my skinny Urban with a lock. It's called a Dragonfly. It's cool.
Yeah, there it is.
He says it like he bought a Dragonfly.
A Dragonfly. Just the
one. I didn't buy 3 and change parts. Shut your face.
May as well throw some of these other pictures I got, but I really like the look of that pattern. The fact that you can see it in the jimping also makes me very happy. Oh, it's stupid, but it's.
I like
pretty,
the stars from the twists.
Yes.
Very pretty.
Yeah, that ended up working out pretty nicely.
No.
Again, well-made knife. It's pretty fucking expensive. You better really like the Urban.
I think it could be denser.
Did you end up taking a picture of it compared to the bug out there, Dennis?
No.
No?
No.
Fair enough.
I did not. Oh, yes, I did. Yes.
I was going to say, yeah. You compared it to my bug out.
But not in a size comparison.
No.
I didn't care about the size of the comparison.
Hey, one of those knives is pretty linty.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it. It's not my knife.
I was trying to wipe it off and did a really good job.
Should have seen it before.
I mean, there was something really obvious that we were trying to highlight with this bad boy, and the big thing was just
how dense that twist is, really.
Yeah, the densiest.
And the weird, like, goblin face that is all over my bug out.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yeah.
And also, even we were talking about Spyderco's laser engraving and logoing, and look at the spider compared to the words on that knife.
Yeah.
And even how much contrast there is. Just
well, look at the difference between it and the Benchmade logo. Even like the Benchmade logo is not gonna fade.
And the Benchmade logo also likes to hide as well in the Damasteel. So there is definitely something about Damasteel that the laser engraving likes to blend depending on the angle.
Breaks up the hard lines of whatever it's on it, which genuinely is making me believe that if you have a good deep etch on Damasteel, it will do a pretty good job of hiding scratches, because only the high points will get scratched. The low points, the dark points, won't get scratched as easily. And it breaks up the line into a bunch of smaller line segments that can hide easier. Because in my experience, my Centauri is scratched to hell, and you cannot tell unless you're like really digging for them.
I was gonna say you told me that and showed me the other day even, and just looking it over, I'm like, I mean, yeah, if I hold if I hold the blade out and I have a flashlight angled just right, reflecting back, sure, I can kind of see some of those lines.
Yeah,
Damasteel, it does seem to hide wear fairly well.
I've been worried. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, with my very limited experience with Damasteel, I've got one custom small little blade with it, and I've used it a generous amount. And there's one scratch on it that stands out, but it's kind of I took a look. I should have got some photos just to show, but anyway, point being, you are right. A lot of those scratches do seem to hide in the deeper parts of the edge.
Yeah, it makes me a little more confident in using Damascus blades.
Yeah. And I think the steel that they're using in Damasteel is going to be they can harden it a little bit more than the steels you would find in the Centauri, for instance.
Yes. Yeah.
So it should be even more resistant to scratches with wear, theoretically, which is a good thing. I think yes, these knives are probably just going to be collected, but I really like seeing stuff like this in people's pockets. Like I like seeing this stuff used.
I don't know about that smooth white G10. It's not going to be smooth or white very long in your pocket. That's for sure.
It wants
to show.
G10 should retain its color as long as it's not too horribly textured over time.
I'm pretty sure you need
how dark are your jeans.
Just soap and water that bad boy, because that thing is gonna get dyed for sure.
Even when perfectly smooth.
Perfectly smooth.
Wow.
Maybe you should go back and look at some of those other pictures. I mean, it's smooth like jazz music. It's
God, they hit the right notes. Yeah.
No, but seriously, I have white G10 on the Tengu, and it picked up a lot of dye from my fifth
pocket. I get it. Actually, yeah, thinking about my Adamas, same kind of problems off of blue jeans. Okay, so fine, fair enough. You'll probably pick up some color, but it's G10. You could watch that shit. That being said, I was comparing my. Yeah, exactly. That's Damasteel. It shouldn't rust, right? It'll be fine. It's just funny. I was comparing my S110V military to the new ones on the shelf, and just the shade difference between this and the brand new ones. It's like, oh yeah, that definitely is more blue than this is. Anyway,
it's like blue black, is it, Joe?
Yeah, it's pretty dark by comparison.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. This is an expensive knife. It's a small knife. Here's a shot of it in Dennis's hand, because I want to use up some of these pictures because they're nice.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, in hand, it is actually a 4-finger. It's not even a can't do work 4-finger. It's a full 4-finger. Like we were doing that,
like the Dragonfly. Yeah.
The Otter the other day, and I was saying it's 4-finger, but you probably couldn't do a lot of heavy duty work short of this being a non-locking blade. Yeah, as soon as you got it in your hand, you're like, I could actually probably crank on this thing pretty good if I wanted to. And then, like 12 or 13 maple pulls later, it's like I had to resharpen it and put it back on the shelf. But I mean, that's what you come to expect.
I'm going to tell everybody.
They'll never believe you, even with video evidence.
Where'd you find a maple tree? That's
the port. Yeah. One of these guys, was it this one? No. You had a shot.
That's the takeaway, Paul. Yeah.
Are there no maple trees in Alberta? Am I missing something?
You're so lost. There is no takeaway, for the record.
Okay, good.
It's just saying shit.
I should know better.
So
hey, we can talk about that.
Yeah, we should. So, for how expensive this knife is, I wanted to see something a little bit better than what I see on the inside of, say, your run-of-the-mill native or your UK PK.
Your average CRKT?
So this is pretty choppy water jet work on the inside
There's
of the
no chipped
UKPK.
paint on the inside of this, Paul. Come on, give credit where credit's due.
Maybe it
That's
all chipped off.
true.
You don't know.
Maybe it all chipped off.
So relative values, the urban is selling for around 400 Canadian dollar reduced. This one's about 120, 125. And this is a shot of the inside of my native with the S90V. That's about as nice as it gets. Not ever across all knives. I'm talking specifically the inside of Spyderco's water jet springs. Because if we go back to that photo of Dennis holding the Urban, you can see that they tried. They tried a little bit harder. They actually polished out most of the water jet markings from the spring. This knife was $400.
If you're gonna go that far, why wouldn't you go the entire way?
Yeah, just put on.
You started the job, finished the job.
I wanted to see them do the same finish that they did on the spine of the knife. Did I get rid of that photo? I must have.
J'accuse.
I could throw it back up. It's not a problem. It's just I got a bunch of tabs here and they're all getting kind of cramped. Yeah.
Throw it up, Joe. Throw
Let's
it
get
up.
rid of these guys. Blech. There you go. I want to see that finish on the inside of the spring for a knife that is as uncomplicated as this one.
Yeah. Bare minimum.
Come on. Now, at least they did give the blade.
Come on.
Come on. They give the blade a little bit better treatment. I think I got an. Which one of these two pictures is better? Definitely the second one. Okay. I got an overhead shot of the tang where there is a half stop on this knife. It's a small notch. They actually did a decent enough job of polishing it up. You can see the layer lines from the Damasteel that I still find that very funny. But they actually
can see it right even in the not really etched part. That's funny.
Yeah, they did a decent enough job with it. Comparison's sake, here's the UKPK top end. So I'm personally kind of irritated that they didn't clean up the inside a little bit better. Like you said, they're
You
close.
wanted to see those sweet, sweet layers. Come on.
That's fine. And I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying that's not much different from this. Just the steel's different. But they really should have cleaned up the inside of that spine. Like,
can we talk about the fact that at this price point, everybody thought that ivory was micarta?
Yep.
To find out it was D10, it was kind of a punch in the dick.
So, again, the cost of materials isn't the be-all, end-all of any knife.
No.
However, G10 is ludicrously inexpensive. Like, especially at this stock thickness that would be needed to machine down to this size, it's extremely cheap. It's good material. It's a very nice material choice for what this is from a utilitarian perspective, but this is a $400 knife. I'm not buying this as a utility cutter, right? Like, and even if I was, for the money, I mean, you're seeing what Civivi's doing for what, like a quarter of that price? And yes, Chinese produced, but come on.
Come on.
Look,
Come
man,
on.
some guys got to buy a Ferrari, okay?
Clearly.
Yeah. So in diddly.
In diddly doodly.
Could have been a little nicer polished. And yes, it could have been micarta. We all kind of hoped it was micarta. I don't think Spyderco ever pretended that it was going to be micarta.
No.
I just assumed, looking at it, that it was.
Yeah, should have been. It should have been white polished micarta on a non-slippy. Yeah. But the other thing with that, like the G10, the micarta, the slip joint aspect of it, I don't understand how you can make that $400 even if you upgraded all of those materials.
It's absolutely not.
Right? Like it's
You can get some ludicrously nice custom made slip joints for $400 that make this look like hot dog shit.
With probably antique micarta and stuff like that in it.
Uh-huh. recently saw one that was antique. Was it like what do they call it? Like German rag micarta? That like
Mm.
had somebody had said like they made it into micarta like 30 years ago. Oh my god, the colors on it! It looked like beautifully dyed burl. Anyway, it was fantastic. But point being, $400 is a lot of money for that.
Yes.
Makes me very salty.
How many piles of salt would you give it as a rating?
I was gonna give this thing like 2 out of 10 Italians, but if we're going with piles of salt, if we're going with piles of
It's
salt,
it's the same thing. Let's be honest.
yeah, one out of 5 piles of salt for this thing. I mean, good
One
god,
out of 5.
yeah. Just a
For the
miss,
record,
a
for the
misnomer.
record, I'm gonna score it a half pile because that's the street price.
Okay, fair enough. Oh,
Paul, how many piles? Come on.
How many piles? Yeah, like I think I'm on board with Joe. It doesn't get more than one. And even at the one, it's kind of a small pile.
it's so disappointing.
It's not even Himalayan salt. It's just
No,
yeah.
it's
not-
table salt. It's iodized table salt.
Oh, yeah, that's just too bad. That's just too bad.
Yeah. But that pattern is really pretty. So I'm really excited to see that pattern used by somebody else on something else. Anything else.
Well, I mean, who knows what Bjorkman's gonna come out with?
That's so
Stay tuned.
scathing. I love
Stay
it.
tuned, right?
Can you imagine if they did a Euro edge like this with those materials? Yeah, Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm into it.
With the fullers, come on.
$900 later.
With the
Quite
fullers,
honestly,
it would look hot.
I'm really curious to see like Benchmade gold class with this pattern.
Hmm.
It'll be $1,500.
Yep. But at least with the
Yeah.
Benchmade Gold class, you know you're getting something special at the very least.
All right. This is a sprint run. Come on. It's gonna have appreciation value.
Feel like we're, yeah. I feel like we're just kicking this thing.
Yeah. Anyway, it for collectors thing. I'm sure it will be. I'm sure it'll be a fantastic collectors, and it'll appreciate in value as far as a
It's a
collector's thing goes.
Spyderco. It's already appreciating in value as we speak because they've figured that wizardry out somehow.
Called a following that lasts 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just want them to finish their fucking factory expansion in the States so they can start making cool shit again. Sorry.
I want them to go back to having a regular run of
of new releases every year.
The
I was thinking
Kapara,
Dakota,
the Shaman,
The Kapara, yeah.
I want the Kapara
The
and the
smoke,
Shaman back.
the Smock.
I want a sprint run Shaman is what I want from them. That would be sexy AF.
No, they've done that a bunch. It sucks. How about to do a sprint run Smock?
What did I say?
You said
Shaman.
Shaman.
Oh, okay. No, I meant Smock. Sorry.
Smock would be nice. Can you imagine a
Yes.
Smock with these materials? Fuck. Oh my god, just contour the handles, please, instead of this flat. Yeah. For the
Well, I
400
would
or
take that
500.
exact same knife with a 20 CV blade.
Well, they made one. Some shop exclusive though.
Knife joy or something like that.
Knife
Yeah.
It was still square. Yeah, it was just a different color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't care about the routing handles as much. I want a better steel than S30. Because I'm a
Like it.
bougie.
I was gonna say, like, I like S30 though. I've actually on my original stance of the Kapara was like the one thing I was kind of sour about was the blade steel. I think I might actually just go for the Kapara and just not even bother with like a paramilitary or anything like that. Like, yeah, it'd be cool if it was S45, but I like the overall design so much. I don't know. Anyway,
They should just stop doing S30 and just do everything in S45 now. And I'd buy a Smock in S45 in a heartbeat.
I'd probably buy a second Smock in S45.
Yeah, that's the right answer.
After I bought a decent clip for it, but anyway.
What are you talking about? The stock clip is it's livable.
Heinous. The word you're
Livable?
looking for,
In
Joe, is heinous.
whose life? Set your bar higher, Joe. Jesus.
Oh no!
Be
No,
better.
You
I know that's your answer, but I was gonna say the right
Come on.
answer, but then I had to change it to your answer because
Look,
it's not the right
I get it.
answer. But
do you
it's
know?
your
Do you have any concept of how many CRKTs I own?
yes. Sad.
Sadly. Look, a couple of them are good.
You know, most of us grew out of that phase, right?
Hey.
Some of us didn't. Some of us didn't.
No.
All right, new topic. We
Yeah.
should look at the third horse.
The horse corpse is paced at this point. Yeah.
Horse
got one.
corpse paste is a terrible sentence, Joe.
I got one for you, Joe.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's quick, it's easy. Bring up Benchmade.
Oh. All right.
Bring up Benchmade.
First of all, are there shit ever going to be released? Did they make more delays on the Weekender and the garbage? I don't know. I haven't looked recently.
Didn't look,
Haven't.
but probably not.
There was a Weekender and there was a whatever, and this is actually about the tagged out. But while we were talking about it, I actually just realized I'm like, oh yeah, are they actually going to release those knives like they say they're going to, or are they going to garbage?
Yeah, when is the tagged out supposed to come out now?
I don't know.
Is that what we're looking up?
Tagged out? Yeah, that's the knife in question in this particular article.
Article of the episode. Don't worry
This
about
I
it.
was going to say, we're a news column now.
Oh. Oh.
So you may see there's no tagged out. Do better, Joe.
Tagged doesn't bring up shit, by the way. What's the model number?
Oh yeah.
What's
Good question.
Go to new.
I'm just going to new right now. Yeah.
Oh,
it's all one word.
Oh.
15535.
Okay, this little thing. This simple to make little thing using materials they've used for years.
Don't worry about it.
Injection molded handles. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So
Coming soon. 80 days.
that's good and fine. That's
Yeah.
good and fine.
That's been pushed back again, though. I thought it was 40 days or something like that most recently. But it was supposed to be like a week, and then it got pushed back again.
Oh, and now it doesn't have it on their website. Oh crap.
What's up?
Are we gonna have to go to their catalog? Can you go to their 2022 catalog?
Do they host their own catalog on their website?
I believe they do.
Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, this is garbage. My whole thing with the thing.
All
Alright, I'm looking at the digital catalog. What am I searching for?
Still this knife tagged out.
Okay. I wonder if I can just... Oh, yeah. Did not return any search. Come on.
Flip
What about
those
1,
pages.
5, 5, 3, 5. Oh. Brings up every page. Sweet.
All the pages.
That's useless. Whoa. Hold on.
That's a nothing catalog, is what that is.
Oh wait, this is 2021. Summer 2021. Why did it bring me here?
Summer of 2021.
So I can't see the 2022 catalog?
Interesting.
Oh,
Huh.
no, dealer catalog. Okay, what was that other button I pushed? View the digital catalog. That's what I hit. It got me to the 2021. View the dealer catalog gets me to 2022. Okay.
All right
Okay.
then. That
That's-
totally makes sense.
Yeah, 100%. The
They're
tagged
both
out
orange.
only comes in orange, right?
Yes.
Oh, Okay, so there it is. What are we looking at?
Okay, so if you scroll in on the angle, it select edge with a 154 CM blade, I believe.
Yes. Yes.
Can you see what angle that is?
That's a 17-degree angle.
Certainly is. Certainly is.
So they have a third angle now that they're doing?
Not now. Since the beginning of the year, they've been claiming this 17-degree select edge. Now, it's very interesting that they came out with two new pocket sharpeners this year, being a 14-degree angle and a 20-degree angle that matched all their new select edge stuff.
That's why I'm asking.
Is this potentially a typo? Because the 7 is right above the 4 on the number pad on the keyboard. Is this just a mistake?
I don't know. I don't know, sir, but it's the only knife that has a 17-degree angle on it. I don't know why.
That is super strange. I hope it's just a mistake. I don't see anything in the copy here about it being sharpened to anything other than a
razor and all that.
I'm just very curious on why they wanted to put a 17-degree angle on one knife and then not give a sharpener to sharpen said knife.
I was going to say maybe it's because of the 154, but the standard rubber-handled meat crafter is 154 cm as well, and it's 14 degree. So
yeah, and Joe could be onto something on the typo with the 7 above the 4, but that wrecks my fun. So shut your face, Joe. Come on.
Yeah, you're supposed to say that last, Joe.
I really can't wait until Benchmade comes out with this knife at a 17-degree angle, and then we're still all like, really? What the fuck? We thought this was a joke.
We thought they just fucked up. No, see,
you guys still fucked up, but you fucked up in a different way.
Yeah.
He was high enough up in the ranks that they're like, no, we're going with it now.
Yeah.
I can't be wrong about this. I'm gonna lose my job.
Oh, good God. Okay.
It's on the spec sheet, man. Come on, it's on the spec sheet.
If we go to, is there any kind of like area in the Benchmade website that talks about their select edge specifically? There's the Explorer, Benchmade Edge. Oh, blade styles, materials. Do they? Oh, select edge. Okay. Oh, but they don't tell you what angle it's at. They just have a YouTube video.
There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype involved.
Okay.
We'll get you a sharp knife. Check us out on YouTube.
Is there a patent section on their website?
Patent? There used to be. I don't know if there is anymore, though.
Okay. The only reason I ask is I realized recently that a knife had a patent for it, and it was very confusing because it didn't seem to have anything.
Yeah. My torrent, I think, had a, or Dennis's old torrent had a benchmade.com/path, and that used to bring you to a patent page. I don't know if that actually works anymore. Oh, it does. Sweet.
I was going to say the reason I ask is because I think it was the Anonymous that has it still.
The Anonymous? Really?
And I was curious as to what the Anonymous had as far as a patent.
I don't see anything here.
Virochoil.
So they have the APB Autocrat Automatic Access Assist Safety, and that's it for A. So nothing about the Anonymous here.
That's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
They got one for the immunity though.
That's they do. Yes.
A knife that they haven't even really announced yet.
You hush your mush about that one. I'm pissed about the goddamn immunity in so many ways.
What did they patent about the flyaway? It's a scalpel.
Is it the select edge? The select edge is the patent.
At 17 degrees?
No, 14, except on the tagged out. But shut your face.
They're both in 154, so I was wondering.
So, okay, so the weird thing about that is I know you can patent a process. Are they literally just patenting the the method through which they sharpen the knives?
Maybe
Yes.
maybe they're using lasers, man. You don't know.
Whoa.
Well, that's weird.
Detempering every edge with a laser.
This whole rabbit hole is just a little strange. So
Yeah.
Okay,
Everything-
so we should also finish up on the note of if you go to Benchmade's New Knives, while we were talking about it and looking at it, the Weekender 317-1 green micarta handled knife.
That was coming out soon.
I don't know if this one was supposed to be coming up soon.
Was it green or the gray that was coming up soon? One of
Yeah,
them was.
see, that's the question. That's the ultimate question. But right now, if you click on the green one and go down to the time clock, you see what it says here, you see.
well, that's coming up quick.
Huh. Neat.
So those are things. Yeah.
What's the gray one? I'm curious if they have a different time.
I don't know.
52 days.
There you go. There you go.
Yikes! What the fuck is the difference between these two besides the handle materials and the pivot collars?
And then the readout, which actually went from coming soon in February to being like, you do not talk about the readout on our website. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be out in about 2 weeks, 15 days is what it's claiming.
Is it
right now.
really?
Oh, nice.
Finally?
Wow.
Because it
Don't
was
you
supposed to
talk
be
about
like-
it. Don't you talk about the readout. You know,
Which
In 2
version,
weeks.
too?
In February, it was supposed to be out in 2 weeks.
So the serrated version is in 2 weeks, and the standard version also 2 weeks. Okay, so those guys can come out at the same time because they're just sharpened differently.
They're not going to.
Hey,
They're not coming out in 15 days. You're on glue.
No. They're going to surprise us and release an immunity just to throw everyone on their toes.
Ooh, I'm into it.
That's not going to happen, Paul. That's ridiculous.
No, I know, but I'm into it.
I
look,
don't even care if
let
that's
him-
street price. That's not going to happen.
let him
I
let him
would
live in
let
his
them hurt
fantasy.
me again. That's all I'm saying. I would let them hurt me again.
And then the flyaway is 22 days. So we got 3 weeks on that bad boy.
I want that damn knife.
So there's your little something is yeah, tagged out 17 degrees. Snap.
Is the flyaway 2 words?
No.
Am I spelling words incorrectly?
Oh,
FLY.
flyway. That's
Oh,
why
flyway.
there's no A. I was calling it a flyway.
I always call it the flyaway too. I assume there was an A.
That is a cute little knife.
Flyway. Is it a
Oh.
fly fishing knife? Is that what it's?
They want too much money for that damn knife. So
I know,
much
Yeah, I
damn
was
money.
just gonna say, holy fuck.
This is my
For
issue,
one
but I
a
want it.
154 fixed blade for that much money out of Benchmade? Really?
It's a little bird and trout. Little bird and trout. $200.
Why I want it?
American made
But-
$200. Give me now.
Oh my
I
god.
think the Booker Brook is going to be a better choice.
What?
So I think
Oh,
the
no.
Booker-
No.
How do you figure? The Booker Brook is awesome. You're wrong.
So the Brook
This thing's got select edge.
is an okay knife, but your problem is you're putting a lot of faith in Boker.
Yes.
your
But-
main flaw here, you see.
I'm just going to attach it to my little shark from Kaiser.
Oh,
And when one goes dull, I'll have the other one. They'll be my little fish buddies.
Then he can have a pair of fish chucks.
There you go. I'm going to make a lanyard that attaches both of them.
those poor fish.
Funk.
Okay.
Bringing fish bunker to a
Look,
whole new level.
I'm just saying, if you can figure out a way to fillet a fish with nunchucks, it's kind of awesome.
No, not gonna happen. Anyway, someone else talk. I'm done now.
And I'm spent.
My thing is very, very short. It's only going to take a few minutes, I think.
Was that Instagram screenshot you sent me?
Yeah.
Cool. I will pop that up right now.
Yeah. I know Dennis already knows about it because he is one of the likes on it. You can see him right there.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, he's right there. But yeah, so it appears that Advanced Knife Bro is making his own slip joints, and
Good for
kind of
him.
into it.
Good for
I'm into it,
him.
man. You know what I mean?
He's suffered enough. No, he hasn't suffered nearly enough.
What the fuck?
He's been doing a lot of traditional videos lately, and he seems
Yeah.
very sad about it.
That's just him, dude.
That's his whole shtick.
Hence, he hasn't suffered enough yet. He clearly wants to suffer more.
Black Cross, what's happening with immunity? That happened a while ago. Anyway, nothing's happening with it. They announced it's probably going to be a 2023 model, like so many other things that they announced for 2022. Anyway,
At least they announced some new models. Damn.
Yeah,
So-
traditional. He's making his own.
Who's making them for him?
I don't know.
Because those look like line
information
steel
I have
blades.
is from this. They kind of look like line steel. I don't know if they're going to be in like crazy super steels or if they're going to be in more traditional stuff. The only information that we have is the colors, and their colors are basically, he's saying that they're probably dialed in or damn close to.
Cool.
The shield he's trying to dial in right now. The shield as of right now is a tree stump, and I'm not in love with it. But I do like the traditional with a bottle opener. I like that combination.
I don't actually hate the tree stump. I'm not sure that that's the final graphic I would have gone with, but
yeah,
I don't hate it. But yes, having a bottle opener on the back end is kind of cool. Little pry bar, little.
And
Those are
it's
nice.
screw construction, so it's adjustable. I imagine it's probably going to be a modern thing. It does look like a Lion Steel. It would be really cool if he was did a collab with Lion Steel for a little traditional with a bottle with a cap lifter.
I kind of really like the looks of these.
Mhm.
Like little, what are they? What's that traditional pattern called when they're like really pill shaped like this? Like basically
The
complete.
lozenge?
Sure.
I have no idea.
Oh Jesus. Anyway, no, these look super clean. I mean, I know they're just mock-ups; they're not completed, they're not even fabricated yet. But still, if this is an approximation, I think they're going to be real cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And the two top ones are in a like kind of translucent-y bone, and then the bottom one was in micarta.
Yeah,
But
I
kind of neat.
I don't hate any of these. I think I'd be happy with any of them myself.
Absolutely.
I agree. They're all good looking.
Fred, fuck.
I just got my new EDC box worked out, and I realized that I have room for at least 2 more traditionals.
Nice.
So
Good shit.
I
I don't know where that's going to take me, but
I brought this up as a kind of good for him post. I'm excited that he's able to do something like this. That's pretty fucking cool.
Hell yeah, man.
Getting them opportunities and shit.
and the round one, just looking up a quick pattern, is the elephant toe pattern seems to be coming up as the one that's the perfectly round pill shaped.
But I think it has to be larger to be an actual elephant toenail.
Does it? Yeah.
Oh,
There's a pattern,
yeah. And wider, I
pattern
think.
with a smaller one. Yeah.
Proportionately wider. But still.
Some of
yeah.
the jacks, the Fremont Jack and the yeah. There's a Jack, just one that's called a Jack pattern. Yeah.
Well, that's cool as shit, man.
I know Northwoods has some of those that I really like. The Fremont Jack and the yeah.
I dig the Fremont. What's that one that you have like kind of a smaller guy?
I got the Little Bay, but it's based off a Barlow pattern.
Okay.
It's just a very, very small Barlow. Let's see. I got it there somewhere. Right there. There it is. Little cute little bastard.
Okay. Sure is a Barlow.
Yeah.
Where?
With
was
the
loud.
butt plug. The Barlow.
Yeah,
butt
my
plug.
foot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Their arrowhead really does look like a butt plug, eh?
a little
I
buddy.
don't want you to worry about it.
Oh, I'm
I'm
not
not
worried.
worried about it. I'm into it.
Hey, no.
Yes, you are.
Good topic. Cool as shit.
Yeah,
Happy for him.
indeed.
That's awesome.
All those things. And I guess it's on to you now, Joe. If you get a topic.
Let's see. I got kind of a small topic, actually in a very similar vein as yours. So Mr. Designs over on Instagram is doing a Kickstarter for his Ronin design. And apparently any overflow from that first run of Ronin knives, which is the one with the opening hole on the right side of the screen, will be going towards the Zero, which is the patent pending button block on the left side of the screen with a square flipper. Oh gee, a square flipper with a button lock. Yeah, I'm not at all interested in that. It's cool as shit.
How do you patent that, though?
There's some kind of fancy internal mechanism that hasn't really
Okay.
been disclosed yet. As far as I'm aware, it hasn't been disclosed yet. But yeah, it just kept. Yeah, I came across this a little bit ago. I'm like, yeah, good for him. He's getting shit done. I believe these are in collaboration with Riot. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's the direction they were going. Super minimal overall design language. I'm into it. I'm interested to see what happens.
I thought they were striped, and then I realized it's just the light.
Yeah, it's just a artsy, fartsy kind of photo.
It's got some shadow play going on. It's open to
Is it
interpretation.
a black and white?
No, there's
It's-
wood.
I said it's artsy fartsy, not just artsy.
You can see.
Yeah, but maybe he put the knives in black and white. You don't know. There's apps that can do that shit.
Oh, I hope not. I hope not.
Or you do the background all in black and white. You leave the knife in color.
See, that's what you should do. 100%.
I'm also into that.
Yeah.
I like to do that with my SR1. Big red looks good in a black and white photo.
That's true. But yeah, besides Winter Blade Co., Mr. Designs is the other Instagram knife maker account that I'm like very interested in seeing what the final products are like and trying to get my hands on them because yeah, there's some stuff there.
Fucking nice.
Um,
That's awesome.
One other
Mister, right?
Yeah, I don't know about the naming, but it is what it is. I have one other very, very small thing. This is something I actually was talking to you guys about in the group chat. So
Is it just MR, or is it like
It's
MR and then Mister?
it's MR, yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't realize that, and if most people don't know, apparently Spyderco is currently running their VG10 at around 58 to 60 Rockwell. Hard to track down information about this kind of stuff, but evidently this is where they're sitting. I haven't been able to test my Delicas yet, but this guy still seems to be sitting just a hair above 60 so far, just the Delica.
Really?
Yeah, this is a newer production run, so I think I just got really, really, really lucky with the
How
VG10
new?
on this guy. 2015, 2016, I think.
Okay. That
Like,
one's newer than mine. I'm curious to see if there's a difference between mine's 2014. So
Okay, yeah.
bring it in for you.
Yeah, interested in finding out. Anyway, super small note, just kind of last minute, like, yeah, that's mildly interesting. Especially when so many other makers are using VG10 at a better hardness.
Yes.
Yeah. Sad sigh. Anyway.
But
It's for
The
ease of
assumption
sharpening.
before that-
Okay.
That's
Come on.
yeah.
the assumption before was that they were like on the hard end, they were 58, right?
That was kind of the assumption, but
58.
apparently the current run stuff is 58 to 60, and prior to that they were running, like when they first introduced VG10, they were running it like 60 62, which, I mean, the 60 to 61 VG10 sounds pretty damn good to me. But I
60,
also
62 sounds awesome.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly VG10 gets a little bit chippy. at that hardness. But if in a pocket knife, you would assume something like a 20-degree angle might help mitigate that to a degree.
Yeah, I think there's factors on that: stock thickness and grind and secondary bevels. And
Did the hardness change coincide at all with the switch from like a saber grind to the full flat grind by any chance?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think those happened independently because the full flat grind stuff didn't happen until that was
Well,
like what
mine has a
4 or
full
5
flat.
years ago.
Mine from 2014 is a full flat on it.
Oh, is it really? Shit. Okay, huh? Yeah, time is an illusion.
yeah, that started quite early, even though a lot of companies were resistant to switch over.
Yeah.
Maybe it did coincide then, because I always thought that the that happened a bit later. Huh? More research needed. We'll have
absolutely.
to dive into that a little bit.
But it would make sense if you're having a thinner edge that's
Yeah,
more likely to chip and stuff. You're going to soften it out a bit.
and I wonder if they would see the same overall edge retention on the saber grind versus the flat, in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Even with better cutting performance initially. Yeah, that's a
Deep dive.
yeah.
The
That's
quandary.
I'll have to dive a
It
little
is
bit
one
deeper.
hell of a quandary.
All right. I think that sums us up.
That is us summed.
Up.
I'm only like a
summed.
third summed. It's for the record.
My-
Yeah. Well, I got a good 2/3 summon coming on after the stream. Let me tell you, it's.
I'm sure you will.
Just about made me choke.
Full on. Oh God, I'm gonna sum.
Well, I summed a third of the way already tonight. Like it's might as well get the rest of the sum after. I'm stopping. I'm just stopping.
Yeah, I think I ruined it when I said I'm gonna sum.
You had me at some.
Body once told me. Yeah. All right, we can probably wrap it up.
Get it. For the
Terrible.
best.
So yeah, thanks for joining us this evening, guys. Thanks to the Cutting Edge Cutlery Co. for bringing in some fancy high-end limited edition Spydercos, whether you like them or not.
They may not tickle our fancy, but hey, they just might tickle yours.
Yeah.
Your fancy, that is.
You stop talking about my fancy.
I mean, you really should stop talking about it. I mean,
No one wants to know about it.
it's weird that he's the one talking about it, if I'm being honest.
I'm not even interested. I'm only interested in talking about it.
It's on the down low.
Indeed. On that note, go follow us on Instagram on the down low. Give us a little cheeky follow.
Give us a cheeky follow, would you?
Yeah, come on.
Cheeky follow. I'm not sure exactly what a cheeky follow is, but
whose cheeks are we following?
Tell us. You know.
I know.
whose cheeks?
We're following them.
We're following them. Yes, exactly, Joe. Thank you.
Also on Instagram, we got a giveaway coming. We got micro screwdrivers. We got some VV riffles. We got some other things that we may or may not actually have in our possession at this point in time. We're working on some shit. Don't worry about it. Yeah. That'll happen on Instagram eventually. You know what else will happen? Patreon.
No.
Aw.
We just gave up on Patreon. Dick Richard said you couldn't get on tonight. So
Yeah,
I mean,
we didn't cancel. Patreon just like 2023, eh, guys? Fuck you.
anyway,
No.
there's
Eventually.
a thank you coming to everyone who has participated, who's donated. We do have a thank you coming back your way, guys.
I think ultimately we're trying to figure out a way to make it really cool for everybody. So it'll be coming.
I want to make it cool for me.
There you go.
That's why it's taking so long, really.
Being
all
a kind of a diva.
I don't care about the rest of y'all.
It's all about Dennis. Don't you worry about it. Let him worry about it.
I don't worry about it. I'm Dennis. Have you met me?
Yes. Yes.
Indeed.
On that note, I am who I am, guys. I'm Dennis Vipers.
I am the Iron Joe.
I'm exile.ca.
Thanks again for joining us, guys. We'll see you next time.
Toodaloo. Beer.
Ben, thanks for the strim. We're gonna try not to cross strims here before the end of the night. It's
Yeah,
good.
you definitely don't want to cross the strim.